Inflation is a word familiar to everyone, yet few truly understand what it means in real life. Magnus noticed it through a simple example. In the jungle, bananas had become abundant. At first glance, this seemed good. More food, easier living. But when he tried to trade one banana for what he used to get easily, its value had dropped. The same work now brought less. More bananas, less meaning. To explain this to others, Magnus wrote a simple phrase: more bananas, not equal more wealth. Many smirked, too obvious, but that simplicity was the point. If everyone gets more without effort, the banana stops being a symbol of work and becomes just another fruit with no meaning. Inflation is not about bananas or numbers in a wallet. It's about trust. When people stop believing their money will be worth tomorrow what it is today, they start spending recklessly or fear spending altogether. This breaks the system. Magnus wrote on the board, "Inflation is when trust disappears." And that struck deeper than any chart or statistic. He held a banana up to the light. On the outside, it looked the same as always. But without trust, it was just an empty shell. Value is not weight, taste, or even quantity. Value is the certainty that behind it stands effort, rarity, and fairness. Without that, a banana, like money, becomes nothing. He gave an example. If tomorrow every monkey had 10 times more bananas than yesterday, a banana would lose its value. There would be plenty, but no meaning left. It's like a flood, water everywhere, yet it no longer quenches thirst. Money under inflation works the same way. More in number, less in worth. He put up a sign, "Think before you print." In that short phrase was the entire lesson. Printing new money or new bananas is easy, but done thoughtlessly, it erases value. Inflation is not just rising prices in the market. It is losing orientation when nobody knows what a banana or a coin is really worth anymore. To make it clearer, Magnus gathered young monkeys. He showed them, if you have one banana, it's valuable. But if suddenly everyone has 100, yours is worthless. Even children understood. When there's too much of something, meaning vanishes. Some imagined, what if we just froze prices? Force the market to accept that one banana always equals one coin. Sounds neat, but that's not how an economy works. It's alive like the jungle. If you freeze it by force, it kills incentives, destroys balance, and brings more problems than it solves. Instead, Magnus drew a circle: demand to supply to trust. He explained that if even one element fails, the whole system collapses. You can drop bananas from helicopters, but if no one believes they hold value, they are worthless. An economy without trust is a tree without roots. It might stand for a while, but soon it falls. To drive it home, he showed scales. On one side, honesty. On the other, banana printing. The scales broke. A clear lesson: any system where printing outweighs trust is doomed. You can design thousands of schemes, but without honesty and balance, money becomes hollow, and the economy turns into a fiction. Inflation often begins quietly, almost invisibly. At first, people feel richer because more money is circulating. They believe life has improved, wages look bigger, stores seem full. But beneath the surface, prices rise faster than incomes, and savings lose strength. This is the first danger. When society accepts rising prices as normal, when people stop questioning why their efforts bring less every month. Magnus explained it with a simple cycle. When too many bananas flood the jungle, each one becomes less valuable. To make up for the loss, everyone demands more bananas. Leaders respond by printing again, promising abundance. But every new wave only weakens value further. The more they print, the less trust remains. It becomes a spiral with no end.
He also showed why easy fixes never work. The idea of printing more so everyone has enough sounds logical, but destroys confidence. Freezing prices may sound appealing, but markets cannot be forced to stand still. The jungle lives and breathes. If you chain it, it suffocates. What looks like stability soon becomes collapse because energy and incentive are gone. Inflation is not only an economic issue, it is a psychological one. When people lose faith in the future, their behavior changes. They rush to spend quickly, fearing tomorrow will be worse. Others hoard obsessively, afraid their money will soon be worthless. Planning disappears, savings vanish, and trust between neighbors erodes. Money loses its role as a measure of value, and society itself begins to fracture. Magnus concluded with a warning. The system is not held together by paper or coins, but by belief. As long as people trust that money reflects effort and fairness, the economy stands. Once that trust disappears, the ground beneath begins to shake. Even the strongest jungle cannot survive if its roots are cut. Inflation is that silent strike at the roots. The tree may still look green, but inside it is already dying.
In the final stage, inflation stops being numbers on charts and becomes daily reality. Prices rise so fast that people lose track of value. Savings that once felt safe vanish overnight. A lifetime of effort can shrink to almost nothing in a few months. What was once wealth becomes paper. What was once stability becomes fear. Magnus described it simply. Inflation eats not money, but meaning. When money no longer measures value, society fractures. Workers lose trust in wages. Savers lose trust in banks. Merchants lose trust in contracts. Everyone begins to protect themselves at the expense of others. Cooperation fades, replaced by suspicion. A jungle without trust turns into chaos, no matter how many bananas hang on the trees. The illusion of abundance becomes clear. Flooding the system with money or bananas may look like prosperity, but true wealth lies in stability and fairness. Without limits and honesty, every new bill is weaker than the last. Magnus compared it to drinking salt water. The more you drink, the thirstier you become. Inflation promises relief, but delivers only exhaustion. He warned that reversing this spiral is painful. To restore value, printing must stop, discipline must return, and trust must be rebuilt slowly. There is no shortcut. Just as a tree cut at the roots cannot be healed overnight, an economy stripped of trust cannot recover instantly. It takes time, restraint, and fairness to grow again. Magnus ended with a final lesson. Inflation is not only about economics, but about confidence in tomorrow. When trust is lost, even the strongest system collapses. The jungle may still look green, but inside it is hollow. The true cost of inflation is not higher prices, but the destruction of belief that effort has meaning. Without that, money is nothing but paper, and society is nothing but noise.
And this is how inflation works. But our task is not only to understand why money loses value, but also to learn how to protect ourselves from it. If you like this style of explanation, make sure to subscribe to the Magnus Policy channel. And don't forget to write in the comments, Magnus Explain, and the topic you want to see in the next episode. And if you want your bananas not just to slowly disappear, but to grow and multiply, Magnus has the exclusive Guild of Primates. There he explains how to earn with investments, cryptocurrency, and other opportunities that are not open to everyone, but only to those who work smart. The link is in the description.